Airlines runs one flight a week between Addis Ababa and Dembidolo 400 miles to the west, when it's not raining. It was very reassuring to know that all the sheep had been cleared out of the field shortly before we arrived. When we got out of the plane, the first sight that met our eyes was the wreckage of a plane. But the second thing that we saw was the smiling faces of Sister Evelyn and Sister Lemlen, who had brought flowers to greet us. We stayed with the sisters in their compound at Denka near Dembidolo. In the middle of the compound was this beautiful knot garden with roses and other exotic flowers. Across the road was the priest's house, which had an amazing garden with a very green lawn and a wonderful herbaceous border. I was surprised by how green and lush the country was. We were staying with the sisters in order to teach acupuncture to the nursing nuns who worked in the clinics around Dembidolo.
There is the handle, which is steel in this, sometimes copper, and that is the needle, very fine and very bendy. That's what surprises people. It's very flexible. Okay.
The health clinics were run by nurses, and medicines were difficult and sometimes impossible to obtain. It was not possible to obtain, for example, morphine or codeine in Ethiopia. We saw many patients with musculoskeletal pain, including back pain, and in each clinic we trained 1 or 2 nurses in the use of simple acupuncture. Alami Solomon is a healthcare worker with a condition called elephantiasis. This was very common in the region, with 1,000 or more cases. It's thought to be because the volcanic soil contains silica particles, and walking on it with bare feet causes the silica to be absorbed into the body and blocks the drainage of the legs, causing gross swelling, often complicated by infection, sometimes leading to the need for amputation. Certainly these legs were very heavy and painful.
Onto the knee, that side. That's all I'm going to do today, but if it helps, then you can do it again when you see it, understand.
Altogether we visited 5 clinics within a 15-kilometre radius of Dembidolo. The roads were appalling and impassable during the rainy season, and many of the clinics did not have a reliable water or electricity supply. As well as many patients with elephantiasis, we saw goiter, a thyroid swelling, which was almost universal due to a lack of iodine in the soil. Patients had often walked for many hours to reach the clinic. Another problem which we saw was jiggers, a painful condition of children's feet caused by sand fleas burrowing under the skin. The clinics at Sacco and Caro were run by the 3 joyful Indian sisters. Here is Sister Amelia with a list of all the families who had been given sheep. They had specifically chosen families with a disabled member. Here is a widow who had 5 young children. The sisters were also responsible for running the local schools. This first-grade classroom at Caro contains 96 children. Only 17 have shoes. It was clear that the biggest threat to people's health here was poverty, and the sisters ran a series of income generation schemes designed to improve the lot of their people.
We use it for sausage to what this one is prepared by women. It's from leaf and caustic soda oil. We use it. It's made for the
women prepared soap, which was used in the clinics to treat the patients with elephantiasis. Hives were also used to collect honey, and handmade looms to make the local shawls. On the Friday we visited the village of Samaro, which was where the donations that I'd been given had been sent to buy sheep and other livestock. We were quite unprepared for the welcome that awaited us.
Ah, where are the sheep? They go to number.
Some of the families who'd been given sheep had already repaid their debt by giving a lamb back to the sisters for another family.
Oh, he's a rat.
But for one little lamb, the whole event was just too much effort. Meanwhile, on the other side of the compound, another welcome awaited us. Welcome, welcome guests. After her previous visit, Sally had sent money to support a feeding programme for 100 orphans to ensure they got one meal a day for 5 days a week. There are many orphans in Ethiopia, largely due to HIV. This little lad was learning how to put his shoes on, but someone had given him 2 right shoes.
Can I help you?
The children were quite proud of their shoes, which cost only 50 pence a pair. You'll see that some of the orphans have their heads shaved with a little tuft on top. That's so that God can pull them up to heaven when He's ready. The local food is called injera, which is a sort of pancake served with a bean sauce. I volunteered to teach the children in the kindergarten some new songs. Next we were treated to a traditional Ethiopian coffee ceremony. Coffee plants grew widely around the school and the compound, and its preparation was a big social occasion. Next, the local women gathered to put on what they called a drama to show us how their lives had been changed by the livestock they had been given. They demonstrated how they'd been used as beasts of burden, carrying jerry cans of water and bundles of firewood,